It's the 2Dumb2Quit podcast with Jeremy McCall. He's dumb, way too dumb to even quit. So, he has his own podcast now.
All right, friends, welcome back. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, friends and neighbors. You're on the 2Dumb2Quit podcast, and I have a very, very special guest. It's been a long time coming. It's my friend Robin, and Robin is the owner of MyPureHempCBD.com, who's been a dear friend of mine and a lifesaver. Oh my God, a lifesaver, and a tour sponsor, and a friend, and a confidant. Miss Robin Clarke, how are you?
I'm good, Jeremy. Thank you.
Good to see you. We're finally doing it. We've been talking about doing it forever.
I know.
And so we're finally on here.
Because you're finally home.
I know. It's been crazy. The tour's been a nuts. And thanks to you, it's blowing up even more. So We're really excited about it. So I get so many questions about people talking about the CBD stuff. And so I was like, finally... I always try to have stuff that I'm interested in on here. Like we had the astrophysicist. Did you hear that one?
I did.
Talking about the black holes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They just found, he's going to be on again because they just found like some supermassive black hole in our solar system that shouldn't even exist.
Wow.
I'm like, fuck no, he's got to come back on. But CBD, there's obviously like a lot going on with it. There's a lot of debate in Washington. There's a lot of laws about it. State to state is crazy. And then when we first got the bus wrapped, which CW Wraps did it up in Post Falls, Idaho, and it's this beautiful wrap, like this ghost white shimmery. It's like your hat. You always have the sparkly hats, which look good.
Yes.
And this big beautiful logo on it. And we rolled back into Tennessee, and my buddy who owns this bus company was like, "Oh man, you're gonna get pulled over all the time." I'm like, "Fuck them, I don't care." So let's talk a little bit about your background coming into this. I've known you guys forever. And how did you get into the CBD world?
Well, a very dear friend that I've known since 7th grade, one of my best friends, was diagnosed with bladder cancer.
Oof.
And her and I started doing research on CBD.
Yeah.
And the difference between marijuana and CBD.
Yeah.
And just really started researching. And unfortunately, it was too late to really help her. We lost her a couple years ago. But it really pushed me. I've always been an advocate for the plant.
Yeah.
But it really pushed me towards researching more and finding out exactly what this can do and what it has been doing.
It's crazy to think about because there's such a stigma still. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's like 2019. We're supposed to have jetpacks by now, by the way. And we're still...
Flying cars.
Yeah, and we're still debating marijuana, where it's like... every time I think about people that are against marijuana, I think about the old illustration where the guy and the girl are naked and he's playing a tuba into her ass. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that? No. Okay, so that's a weird visual if you haven't seen it, but it's like this marijuana commercial where this guy has like this tuba horn on his girlfriend, and it's like, this is not normal unless you smoke marijuana. And this happens every day, kind of one of these things. And the craziness that there's still the stigma to it. And I think I know that there's people that I deal with all the time who are really protective about letting people know that they're on CBD, because it's like, I just don't want people to think, I work with kids and I don't want people to think I'm a drug user,
right.
and all that stuff. So it's like, I wanted to kind of get into the CBD aspect, like you said, you've always had a passion for the plant. So you've smoked weed, everybody has.
Right.
And for the most part, except for Ted Nugent, he's never done anything. But so, you have a passion for the plant. Your friend gets sick. You start looking into this. Like, what year is this?
Let's see.
Because this now it's just like now starting to, especially like up here in the Northwest, like you can go to the store and buy weed now, which is weird.
Right.
Get it in a jar. It comes with a receipt. You have like a frequent flyer card.
Right.
You can buy coffee while you're sitting in there. It's the weirdest thing, And so like you go in, it's like buying a candy bar now. You can go buy weed. But the CBD thing, it's just a totally different animal.
Right.
So I just wanted to, when you started to get into that, I mean, is this before the legalization of weed up here?
No, I think it was legal in Washington.
It was.
Still completely illegal in Idaho.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. So I was breaking the law every day trying to medicate myself.
Right.
So the CBD has been a blessing.
Well, and you were dealing with, like, what were some of the things, like, when you were smoking weed, why were you smoking it?
I had massive anxiousness, and I'm trying to be FDA compliant because we can't advocate, we can't say it'll cure this, it'll do this. But I had massive anxiousness. I was a single parent with 5 kids, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
They put me on all kinds of medications, and it just made me lethargic, and I didn't want to get out of bed, and I didn't want to parent. So a friend of mine said, start smoking pot.
Right.
I didn't touch that since I was 15 years old.
Right.
I'm
That's
like,
when you smoke weed. Yeah.
I'm not going to go start smoking pot.
Right. I got 5 kids.
Right.
Trying to make this shit work.
Like, I'm trying to function, not, but, after putting it off and I finally smoked a bowl.
Yeah.
And I felt so much better.
Right. Yeah.
And so slowly I stopped taking all the medication, got off of it. But now I'm in Idaho.
Right.
Single mom,
Breaking
smoking pot on the down low, and afraid of anybody coming to my house because they could smell it,
Yeah.
Then I meet my husband now, and he was completely anti-pot.
Oh, yeah.
And so I kind of, started having anxiousness again because now I'm not smoking because he doesn't like it.
Right.
And I'm not getting back on all those medications.
Yeah.
And so then Amy's passing really sparked me looking at CBD as an alternative.
Yeah.
And I just happened to go to a craft show for a Christmas craft show at Post Falls High School.
Huh.
And I walk in, and here's a lady doing a CBD booth.
At the high school?
At the high school.
Really?
Yeah.
I got thrown out of that fucking high school for doing a pot booth as a teenager.
I think my son did too. But I walk in, and here's this booth, and it was almost like Amy, like shining a light down.
Yeah.
Here's what I've been talking about, Robin.
Yeah.
You need to look at this.
Your moment.
And I did. I tried getting hold of that lady. She never called me. Anyways, started researching. I found a really good person that reached back out to me right away, and she kind of took me under her wing. Been doing this for 2 years, and
you've been killing it.
Yeah.
And
I
you've
love
been
it.
helping so many people, including me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't real vocal about it in the beginning just because, again, it's like there's certain stigma to it, but I think it's better to advocate for it than for the pharmaceuticals that I was taking. Because it was the same kind of thing for me. Like, I'm having and again, like, I know that there's like these FDA compliance things but I'm not saying this is going to work for everybody in the same case that it worked for me, but I can tell you, for me, the pain that I was having, like, I was going to a chiropractor like 5 times a week at one point, and they were doing brain scans, looking for MS. They were doing all these different tests in my brain. They were looking for the protein breakdowns on the nerves that go into your brain.
Right.
Which is like MS or Parkinson's and shit like that. And they couldn't figure it out. So they eventually, once doctors like run out of descriptions, they're like, it's maybe fibromyalgia. We don't know. You're having radiating pain. We don't know why. On top of that, I'm on the road 200 days a year. So it's like I'm having cocktails when I'm on the road quite frequently. I'm staying up late. I'm eating shitty. I'm getting very limited exercise,
Right.
And they're going, here, also take Lyrica or take some hydrocodones, or because they're pretty willy-nilly about giving that shit out. Like,
absolutely.
Like, is your arm hurt? Well, okay, well, here's some fentanyl patches. I'm like, fucking, didn't that kill Tom Petty? You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus Christ, let's calm down a little bit.
And they hand it out like candy.
It comes out, and and I've got a really, really great doctor in Nashville. And I'm not going to say her name, but she's an incredible doctor. She deals with a lot of musicians. And she was asking me, okay, so what are you doing for the pain? And I said, well, I'm taking the CBD stuff. And she's like, well, how's it working? And I said, it's working. It's crazy. It's like, it's changed my life. And she said, well, I've got some friends down here in Tennessee who are using it. Not doing anything for them. And I'm like, where are they getting it? And it's like fucking gas station. You know, it's like, oh, I bought it down at the Handy Mart and didn't do shit for me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy anything that is worthwhile at a Handy Mart. You know what I mean? And so we got to talking about it. And she was like, if it's working, you need to stay on it. And she said, if I could prescribe it to you, I would. But, you know, it's out of her hands. And so it's just an amazing thing. For me, it got me off all those prescription medications.
Right.
It enabled me to make it a part. And I think that this is another important thing, making it a part of a healthy lifestyle. Where what, like we were talking about on the way up here, it's like if you're smoking weed all day, you're still taking all that smoke into your lungs. There's marijuana's high in THC, low in CBD, like you were saying.
Right.
Where this is just the opposite, where it's like you're getting the healing benefits without the high. You're not getting the psychoactive effects of it.
And you can still smoke if you want to smoke.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like having a glass of wine. Like if you want to go have a glass of wine, that's fine, but you don't have to have the bottle.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So,
well, you were talking about the stuff that you find in the convenience stores or gas stations.
Yeah.
Look at the back of the bottle. That's all I tell people, to look at ingredients, because I guarantee you it's loaded with fillers.
Yeah, what kind of shit did they put into that?
Oh.
I mean, it's just, I mean, because it's like, some of it's like white.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even understand. Like the oil that I use from
it's coming from a plant. It should be green.
It's green. Yeah. It looks like olive oil.
Right.
Like when you're looking at it. And so it really is an amazing thing. Can we talk about how, for people who are totally naive to CBD and are interested, and I run into these people a lot who say like, I'm interested. I don't understand how it works. I don't want to get high. I get that a lot. Like, I don't like marijuana. I'm like, well, it's not like
it's
that.
Hemp.
Yeah, it's hemp.
It's a cousin plant.
So how does CBD work for people that just have no idea, other than they've seen marijuana causes you to blow a tuba into your naked girlfriend?
Well, basically what I tell people, it's like, how I explain it is a mobile over a crib. You know, if you don't bump the crib, everything's balanced, right?
Right.
So that's how your system should be.
Right.
And you've got all your different systems. You've got your different systems within your body. And as one thing is exposed to an element or a food or any kind of, toxin, it weighs down on that system.
Right.
Then you go to the doctor because this is bothering you. They give you medication for that. Well, then that weighs down that system more. It helps with the problem, but now you've got
mask
the problem.
Right.
Well, then it affects your other systems too. Now you've got this causing this.
Yeah.
So CBD, what it does is it goes in and it creates homeostasis in your body. So it's going to put all those systems back in check. What's
homeostasis?
It's just
a fucking nice word. That is a good word. Homeostasis.
Right? Yeah. So it just brings your body back to balance.
Okay.
And functioning the way that it was intended to function before it was exposed to all the toxins and chemicals and crap in our food. And
yeah. It really is amazing how our brain is wired to live on certain things that we totally like from caveman times. You know what I mean? Like the way that our body is wired. I started reading more, even like on, like, as ridiculous as it sounds, like sleep masks, like for total blackness when you sleep. I was reading about how your body, your brain is really built to hunt, eat, do all that when it's light out, and when it gets dark to go to sleep. There's no light bulbs, you know what I mean? You have a fire, you go to bed, whatever. And so when it gets dark, your brain releases more melatonin, which allows you to sleep restfully, get all the rest you need. But when it starts to sense light through your eyelids are, somewhat, you can close your eyes and go, oh, there's a lamp over here, and there's a light over here, and reflections off of tables or your skin even. your brain starts to decrease the amount of melatonin and stuff that it's releasing into your body because it's time to wake up, right? It doesn't know the difference between an LED light and sunlight.
Right.
And so I started using this sleep mask, which I look totally ridiculous because I like to say that it's frilly and pink and has like giraffes all over it or something, but it's just this black sleep mask. And I use it like if I'm taking a nap or when I go to bed. And I feel like I'm getting 10 hours of sleep when I sleep for 5 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing.
I use one too.
Yeah, but that's how your body is supposed to, you know, when in total darkness, you get this depth of sleep, you know, your body's built to run on plants and to hunt and gather while you're fasting and all these things that, you know, create a healthy lifestyle. Anyway, so there's two, right? The receptors in your brain, you have like two receptors, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
1 and 2?
The CBD1 and CBD2.
Right. And so the THC, like if you smoke weed or you eat an edible that has THC in it, it goes to one receptor, right? Which causes like the psychoactive high effect.
Right.
And CBD goes the total opposite way, right? It goes to the other, like the number 2 receptor, which then takes care of like the nervous system and, you know, the inflammation.
Yeah. I really honestly don't understand all the science behind
it. Well, I don't know how anybody could unless you're a scientist. But
I mean, it's insane how it works and why it works. All I know is the good man above created it.
Yeah.
He created us.
Right.
And it goes into our endocannabinoid system, which a lot of people don't even know that we have.
Yeah.
And it helps fix things that are broken.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have no clue exactly how it works. All I know is it works miracles.
Yeah. And it does it without impairing you. Like that's the crazy thing to me. Like, so I do the oil. I know that I've got some friends who use the topicals, and you have a whole line of madness, like of whatever you're into. Like if you guys have like an edible line now too, like candies.
We do. We have gummies, which I brought some. I want you to try one. I love gummy bears. Yeah. So they're not like sweet like a candy gummy,
right?
But they're not horrible tasting either. Well, you know,
and plus.
and you can really feel it once you take it.
Once it goes.
It just really helps mellow you.
Yeah. Well, and there's without the high, you're feeling the relaxation and and I use the oil, which I love the oil. So you've got the edibles, you've got what else? You've got the topicals.
We've got the oil. Sublingual oil. We've got the topicals.
Yeah.
We've got face creams.
Really?
Yeah. So face moisturizers, daytime and nighttime.
And does that release, like if you're using a facial moisturizer, is that releasing CBD into your system, or is it just using CBD like for the
topically?
Topically. So you're getting the benefits that it helps with your skin.
Yeah, and it goes into your skin and helps moisturize, protect.
I've noticed. Especially since I've started taking it too and I take very, very low. I take I take kind of as needed now, but in the beginning I was taking it constantly, you know, just to try to, like what you said, kind of get back to zero, like the reset, you know, and I do like 1 drop under my tongue, 2 drops under my tongue. Now that's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's body's different, but you might be a 10 dropper. You might be a 1 dropper. But for me, it's like I take 1 or 2 drops under my tongue as I need it. And it changed my whole world. Like it literally did in my case, the joint pain and stuff that I was feeling and all the discomfort and stuff that I was feeling, it was like, it was gone. With that, I'm exercising. With that, I'm taking care of myself and adding this to like a healthy balance, you know.
But now you feel like doing all that. You feel like taking care of yourself.
Exactly. And this doesn't, because I'm not a weed smoker. I've never been a marijuana smoker guy. And so when you first started telling me about CBD, it was you. I was like, it's just not really my thing, you know.
Right.
And I'd rather just have like a glass of like a cocktail or whatever to relax. Well, then not realizing that the cocktail that you're drinking is fucking your joints up. It's making it worse.
Putting more toxins in your body. Putting more
toxins into it, right? And so once I tried it, I was like, this is absolutely a game changer. It elevated the way that I felt because I wasn't in pain all the time.
Right.
And when you're in pain all the time, you feel like shit, and you're angry, and you
don't want to work out. You don't want to take care of yourself. You don't want to cook a good, healthy meal.
Right. You just want to. And it turns into this vicious cycle of just like shit in, shit out, and you feel like fucking garbage all the time.
Yep.
And it really has been a game changer for me. And my wife would tell you, there's nobody more anti-marijuana than my wife. Nobody. Yeah. Not anti-marijuana, but it's just not her thing. Like, I don't get it. I'm not into it. I don't want to feel high. And then once I started using the CBD, she was like, it changed our home life. Because it's like, you don't wake up in a bad mood. And I've never been like a bad mood kind of a guy, but it's like you wake up and when you feel like shit all the time, it just starts to filter down. It's like, your attention span gets shorter. Your patience for bullshit gets shorter, and it's like your snap reflex gets quicker, or you're just like, because you're in pain all the time.
Yeah.
And now I get all these phone calls because everybody sees it on the side of the bus, So I was like, hey man, so my dad was a sheriff for like 55 years and he's retired and can't move his hands. And what's your hemp girl's name again? Like that's always how the phone goes. I'm like, Robin, man, you got to call Robin. And then I tell people, I'm like, because I love it so much and I love what you're doing, helping people. And I believe in what you're doing so much. Like I talk about it constantly. It's in every post that I do, it's everything on the road at the merch booth and just trying to spread the word. And to the point where it sounds like an infomercial, but I'm always like, look, I'm not a part of the business. I'm not getting a kickback on your sales or anything like that. I'm like, it just works. It just fucking works.
It does.
And if you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on things that are trying to mask your pain, it's worth going to your website. You do samples, you do giveaways all the time, allowing people to try it risk-free. Well,
the company has a 60-day empty bottle money-back guarantee. So you have nothing to...
Yeah, you use it, you don't like it, you get your money back.
Yeah. Crazy. But I've been doing this for 2 years and I've never had anybody send a bottle back.
Really?
Because it works.
It does work.
It's pure.
Yeah.
It's hemp seed oil and hemp-derived CBD. That's it.
Yeah.
No synthetics, no fillers, no crap.
Yeah. And you guys just continually to grow this brand, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And if you've never checked it out and you're listening to it right now, it's mypurehempcbd.com. And it's got all of her stuff on there. And just the effects of it, it really is. It's an amazing thing. And
did I tell you that we have new shampoo and conditioner out now too?
You have not told me that.
There's no CBD in it, but there is hemp seed oil in it, which is fabulous for your hair.
So this has gone from, I mean, this is like a worldwide global brand at this point that it's turning into. I think it's such a great thing. And especially the next generation where I think you guys have removed a lot of the stigma away from it, you know, and the people going like, oh, well, I don't know, so I think it's a great thing.
I'm getting my kids into this business.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people can become like affiliates of it too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like people can get in on it.
Yeah.
Which, is there information on your website for that too?
There is.
Yeah.
There is. And if you're interested, you can reach out to me at any time too.
And this transformed your life.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, in a gigantic way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to retire my husband this next year.
Wow.
And we're buying a motorhome and we're going to travel all over the country because he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
I mean, you know Tim.
Yeah, he's
a truck driver and he's been driving truck for 30 something years.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to retire him from his truck and hire him to
make him drive your ass around
to drive the motorhome. And we're going to travel all over the country and go to all my affiliates. The company does road shows where they they go to different cities. I think they went to Nashville not long ago.
Sure. Yeah.
But they go and do this big conference, convention. And so we want to go hit each and every one of those and do fairs. And
I get asked about it everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody asked me. We were in Sweden. I was getting asked about it in Sweden. So
we just launched in Sweden.
Really? Because I think it was it, you guys weren't there yet, I think, when I was there.
I think we were trying to.
Just about to get it. Yeah. It's such an amazing thing. And it's just such a helpful thing, you know, and it's, if you're on the fence about it, you need more info, mypurehempcbd.com, and Robin's got all the info up on there.
And if you're looking for a home-based business, it cost me $20 to jump into this.
When you got into this.
Plus a bottle of oil. Yeah.
And you were, like you said, single mom, mother of 5.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
before Tim.
And then you and Tim get together.
Yeah.
And struggling to make ends meet like we all do. And going through that. And this transformed your life. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, we were talking too about where people go, well, it's like, I think like Amway has fucked up so many good businesses because people look at it as like, oh, it's like Amway. It's like this big.
It's a pyramid scheme.
And like, I loved what you said about it, where you're like, well, fuck, everything's fucking pyramid.
Yeah.
You go to work for AT&T. There's a CEO of that company.
Right.
That's the guy making all the money.
Yeah. You know? You're just one of the peons working for him.
Right. And I've literally never looked at things that way, but it's so true.
Why not be on top of that quote unquote pyramid scheme?
Right.
You know, and in all reality, a pyramid scheme is the exchange of money with no goods.
Right.
Well, we've got goods.
Yeah.
And you can make a ton of money in this business.
Yeah. While you're helping people.
Yeah.
While you're helping
change people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's fabulous.
So with the legislation, I mean, you probably pay pretty close attention to legislation stuff that's going through right now. What does that mean for like, and I really don't know. I haven't looked at it, but like, what is the legislation that just went through? Did it pass the House floor where they were federally legalizing marijuana or hemp?
Sorry, my coffee went down the wrong way.
Your CBD coffee went down the wrong?
Yeah, my CBD coffee.
Went down the wrong too?
You know, I believe it passed the House, and I'm not sure where it goes after that, but I'm really just praying that it gets passed federally. I mean, it's
crazy to me that it's just not. Like, there's a lot of things that are crazy to me, right or wrong morally. You know, like, I get there's a moral compass to this stuff, like, but, you know, we were talking like prostitution.
It's a plant.
Yeah. Prostitution to me, I don't understand why it's legal. Why it's illegal. I'm not into it.
This was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, on the way up here. Yeah, we're driving up, and I'm like, I just don't understand it. You know, you can meet somebody in a bar and have a great time and go back to a hotel room and hook up, and everything is fine. But you give her $50 and give her a high five when she leaves. I don't know.
Now you've created a crime.
Yeah, no. Obviously, that goes into a whole other bag of worms, which there's some terrible shit going on with that. But I don't understand why marijuana is illegal. I really don't. Other than
big pharma.
Pharmaceutical company.
Because anybody can go out to their backyard and grow a plant.
Right.
You know? They can't control it.
They would stand to lose too.
Right.
It's just like billions.
But look at how much money Idaho is missing by not legalizing it.
Yeah.
And at least medicinally.
How many tax dollars does like the state of Washington get off of marijuana?
I don't know, but Colorado is repaving roads and funding schools, and I mean, they're looking for places to put these tax dollars.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge surplus.
Right.
So Colorado, Jacob's over here typing. Are you looking up? We're using Jacob's studio because I forgot all my shit at home. Colorado surpasses $1 billion in marijuana tax revenue.
That's crazy.
This is in June. Let's see, Colorado surpassed $1 billion in tax revenue from marijuana sales since recreational use was legalized in 2014. Marijuana tax license and fee revenue has reached $1.02 billion, and the marijuana sales of over $6.5 billion.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah, here it is. This is Washington State. Washington State collected a total of $367.4 million in legal marijuana income and license fees in the fiscal year of 2018. All but $5.4 million came from the state's marijuana excise or sales tax. And this is still on something that's federally illegal.
Right.
How is that fucking possible? It's
not
crazy.
Not for long, though. I know it's going to be legalized.
It's got to be, right? So the general revenues collected by the Liquor and Cannabis Board from legal cannabis taxes, license fees, and penalties distributed as follows. Man, this is crazy. So $198 million went into a general fund. 117 million went to a basic health. Cities and counties got 15 million. Education and prevention, 36.2 million. Research, 1.1 million. And other, 20.8 million. What's other?
Do you see
Where's
that?
other going?
Do you see that? Education, 36.2.
Yeah.
Do you see how low Idaho is on education?
I did see that. Yeah.
Can you imagine what that kind of money would do to help our education system?
You could pay some, pay quality teachers and bring up the
build more
everything.
schools so
Build
the
more
schools aren't overcrowded.
Build up the schools.
Right.
Like, not, give them art classes and more of the music pro, because there isn't shit. Like, that's the other thing, is it's like these kind of things allow these states to implement arts and art programs and music programs and things that are being cut from budgets because these poor teachers are going out there and they're having to buy all this shit themselves.
Right.
And it's just madness. So, wow, that's crazy.
Legalize the
Absolutely crazy.
plant.
Legalize it.
Collect the revenue from it.
Yeah. Well, and everything is better when it's regulated. I mean, not everything, but like if you regulate, hunting. I've talked about that a ton, where it's like herds, hunting, shit like that. The wildlife population needs to be regulated to keep a healthy herd. You know what I mean? And not over regulation, but it needs, if there's some parameters to it. And I think that if you can use what's already being used with CBD, with marijuana, with hemp, and use it for the good, of going back into the system, going back into the schools, going back into education, and allowing people to make the choice for themselves. I mean, it just is insane that alcohol is legal and marijuana is not, to me. It's just a crazy thing. And I'm getting totally off topic.
Well, and thank God that hemp now is legal.
Yeah.
President Trump signed the 2014 Farm Bill, which made hemp legal across the board.
Which they're building houses out of. That withstand hurricanes.
And hempcrete.
Yeah. Hempcrete.
The hemp floors.
They're making
like the
jeans clothing that never wears out.
The Levi's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Levi's making their hemp jeans now.
And the hemp fuel.
It's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the oil, the rope, the clothing, the material, the paper.
Plastic.
It's crazy.
Get rid of all the...
I think it was Joe Rogan who was talking about the plastic that they're making out of hemp. That's 100% biodegradable. It goes away.
Yep.
It's not just recycled. It literally is gone.
Gone. I think I saw something about that the other day, and it had like a before picture, and then it wasn't a very long period of time for it to completely disintegrate either.
It's crazy.
I'm going to see if I can find that real quick.
Total comparison. That's so this is the total income comparison between 2017 and 2018, when I guess this is when like the marijuana taxes and fees came in. The increase is $51 million. That is insane. So marijuana taxes brought in 2017, $319 million. Alcohol, liquor license fees, 17 million, wine tax, 25 million, beer tax, 29 million, spirit fees, 134 million. It's not even close. Not even close. 50%. Wow. That's crazy.
Check this out. Day 1 versus day 80 of decomposing hemp plastic.
Oh.
In 80 days, that hemp plastic bottle is completely gone.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm going to put some of this info up on the 2Dumb2Quit podcast page too, just so people can look at it. But it's just doing so many great things. If you're interested in it, again, go check out mypurehempcbd.com and reach out to Robin. She can walk you through any questions you might have with it. And I've had a bunch of my friends, whose parents are using it now. And the topicals, got aunts that use the topicals like crazy for the arthritis and stuff. And it's just a game changer, of the way that they feel. And I know it works just based on the way I feel. So if it can help me, I know it can help you too. So
absolutely.
Thanks for being such a big part of my life right now.
Absolutely.
My health, my touring, everything.
I was so excited when you reached out. I was like, oh my gosh, Jeremy.
It's awesome. It's going to be great. And then 2020, you have a lot of cool stuff coming up too. So it's exciting.
Yes.
And The tour is going to be big, and you'll be everybody will be seeing the logo running down the interstate. So.
Can we throw out my 1-800 number in case anybody's interested or has questions?
Yeah.
So that is on the side of Jeremy's bus as well, but it's 1-800-420-3103.
Did you just luck into the 420 part of that?
Oh, no, I searched for it.
MyPureHempCBD.com. Go check it out. And my favorite thing about it is the oil. I love the oil under the tongue thing.
Me too.
It's great. And again, it doesn't impair you. It doesn't fog your brain up. It actually does quite the opposite. It clears things up and allows you to kind of get back to yourself, relieves the anxiety, takes a little bit of weight off the shoulders. You know?
Did I ever tell you my personal experience with this? So when I first started, I got the oil because I was having severe back pain, and I was a house cleaner. I had a 15-year house cleaning business.
Okay.
So by the time I got home, I was in so much pain, I'd cry myself to sleep almost on a daily basis. Like you, I was going to the chiropractor 2, 3, 4 times a week, spending outrageous money going to a chiropractor and not feeling like I was getting any relief from it, you know?
But it's temporary, you know, it might last
half an hour, 45 minutes. Then I'm hurting again.
Yeah.
So after I saw this booth at the craft fair, you know, I found somebody that was selling it. And so I reached out and I ordered a bottle, and Tim was going to take, me and Tim were going to take the kids bowling, and I was going to sit and watch because there was no way I could bowl.
Yeah.
And so I got the oil in the mail that day, and I took 5 drops. As soon as I got it, I'm like, okay. About 45 minutes later, I started feeling some relief, and I'm thinking, okay, this is all in my head. There's no way I'm feeling this already after 1 dose.
Right.
And so we went ahead and left, and I took another dose before we left. And we're not supposed to call it dosing, but a serving.
Right.
Took it before we left, and I bowled 3 games that night and had 0 pain the next day.
It's crazy.
And that's when I knew that I needed to share this with everybody I knew. So
the other thing I love about it is there's no side effects. I have 0 side effects from it. And I know some people, you know, like might be like, it makes my mouth a little dry or something in the morning. I've heard some of my friends that have tried other marijuana products, but not this one. I have 0 side effects from it at all. None.
Right.
Other than just feeling better.
Right.
And I take it before I go to jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
And so it's not something where it's like you take it. Because I think people also worry about like, man, I just don't want to be like comatose on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to be. And it's not that at all. I mean, if you're already laying on the couch watching a movie, it's almost like I don't want to say like a glass of, it's just like a relaxation sitting on the couch, kind of watching a movie. But if you're out doing shit, it doesn't make you go like, oh man, I'm just dragging ass. It doesn't do that at all. Right.
Well, you're supposed to take it twice a day, morning and night.
Yeah.
And so I tell people in the morning when I drop it, first thing I do, I wake up, put it under my tongue.
Yeah.
And it helps wake me up.
Yeah.
And then when I take it at night, it's the last thing I do, and it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, I don't know why, but I know it does.
It works. I know it does.
And I just want to put it out there. You know, this is a hemp-based product. This has nothing to do with marijuana.
Yeah.
If you take a full spectrum, if you use a full spectrum, there are chances that you can fail a drug test because there are trace amounts of THC in it.
Explain the full spectrum thing.
The full spectrum, it has all of the cannabinoids. It has CBN. I believe there's 120 different cannabinoids.
Okay.
So it's got CBN, CBG, CBC.
All those.
Yeah, all those.
Okay.
And THC.
Okay.
So our broad spectrum, we used to have an isolate, and so all it had was CBD.
Which would totally take the THC out of it.
Well, yeah, and all the other cannabinoids.
Okay.
So you're just getting the CBD.
Is it as effective?
No.
Yeah.
No. The full spectrum, it all works synergistically together.
Right.
But we now have a broad spectrum, which has all of the cannabinoids without the THC.
Okay, so you're not losing all that other stuff.
Right. Yeah. You're still getting all the goodness. And we have a way of non-synthetically, non-chemically removing that THC from the oil.
Okay.
And so my husband's a truck driver.
Yeah.
DOT has to be able to pass any drug test at any time.
Sure.
So he was using the isolate, and I just ordered him the broad spectrum. So
and that's zero THC.
Zero THC.
So if you do, if you're working somewhere where you have a drug test or whatever, that's
you can pass.
Yeah, and it's a great thing because it's not like it's not like you're hiding something or you're sneaking something that's impairing you. It's not impairing you,
right?
But that's awesome. So the broad spectrum is zero THC,
correct?
But you're still getting the other great elements that are working in that thing.
And our gummies have the broad spectrum.
Okay.
So kids can use it. You don't have to worry about any kind of blood test and your kid testing positive for THC,
Well, and I think and when you say kids can use it, obviously you're talking about the things that I've got a couple of sheriff buddies of mine who use it for epilepsy with their, it's changed their life.
Oh,
she was having these crazy grand mal seizures, crazy, where they were worried about her life. I mean, they were worried about this, at some point, do these get so bad that it kills her? Who knows, And he's a sheriff and started using it. And it's a drastic difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Where the seizures are, I don't know if they're just few and far between or if they're gone now, but I know that he's dude, our life would not be anywhere near as good as it is without CBD. And they use it, for that. Obviously, it's not something recreationally you're talking about. You're talking about, the benefits of it.
Right.
And so I think that there's just so many ways to look at this without the stigma of marijuana and realizing that this is a solution and not a problem.
Right.
And really getting the information on it. And if it's something, it's the only thing you have to lose is the pain. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the difficulty. So mypurehempcbd.com. Reach out to Robin, talk to her. What's the 1-800 number again?
It's 1-800-420.
I remember that one.
3103.
3103. Thank you so much for taking the time and jumping up here. Jacob, thanks for opening the studio, buddy.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And thanks everybody for listening. So this is the 2Dumb2Quit podcast, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. Go check out mypurehempcbd.com. And then this weekend, if you are in Texas, come see us. We're playing in Round Rock, Texas on Wednesday. And then we're in Lindale, Texas on Friday. And then Katy, Texas on Saturday. So come say hi, jeremymccomb.com, mypurehempcbd.com. And thanks for listening, friends. 2Dumb2Quit.